Next, we have Andres Restrepo, the President and CEO of Mineros, a company with operating assets in Colombia and Nicaragua, and he and I will have a fireside chat together. Andres, please join me.
I feel like a rock star.
You are,
huh?
you are. Some of you know, I know Andres quite well, so this is a real privilege and an honor to be sharing the stage with him. Maybe we should start with just an overview of Mineros and where you're operating and some highlights from there.
Thank you. I think I'll start by thanking the organizers for inviting me. Maybe after you crushing me, I won't feel so inclined to do so. So thank you for the invitation. Mineros is an old company. It's a 50-year-old company based in Colombia with assets in Colombia, Nicaragua, and a participation in an asset in Chile. And it's a very young company in Toronto because we've been listed in Toronto only for 3 years now. So it's been quite an experience. Elian had the privilege of helping me on the listing process. I don't know if it was a privilege, but it was fun to go through the whole process. And what we have is 2 operations that are very consistent, very reliable, very profitable, and a project that we're working on to make it better, and a lot of interest in investments to grow inorganically to at least 400 to 500,000 ounces per year. That's Mineros in a glimpse.
And currently you're producing how many ounces?
210 to 230 this year.
At cash costs?
Cash cost around 1,200.
So making a lot of money?
Yeah, we are.
And what is your dividend policy?
We're paying a dividend. Our dividend yield is currently 12%. It's a bit high, but, and I'm sure you're going to be surprised by this, our market cap is too low, we think. Nobody else does. And, but we think that the dividend is okay for the size of the company. We're hoping that we will get a re-rate, and then the dividend yield will be something between 5% or something like that, which is still good, but not as high as today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would agree, maybe a biased agreement with you that Mineros is an undervalued story and a misunderstood story.
Yes.
And I think that's why there's a disconnect between the dividend that has been consistent and the dividend yield, as you just mentioned. So maybe we should just educate the audience on what makes Mineros operations unusual.
Yeah. We're very unusual because we operate an alluvial mine in Colombia. And we know for sure that alluvial raises 2 questions. One is environmental issues, and the other one is predictability. We think we are the biggest alluvial gold operation that existing in the world today. And we deal with the environmental issues like this. We don't operate connected to any river or any water source. We operate in the sides of the river. We create an artificial pond, use only water to do the separation, operate our dredgers with hydroelectrical power that we generate in our own plant, and use only water for the separation. We fly the rich sands by helicopter to our lab, do the final separation, and smelt the doré bars. So really we are, from the environmental point of view, a very low carbon operation. And after our dredges move north, we undertake the closure of the mine. We level the ground, we bring in families and make the land productive again. So we're not at all like the usual alluvial small-scale operations that you see on TV. In Nicaragua, by law, we have to work with artisanal miners. In Nicaragua, when they nationalized the mines, and then went bankrupt, when they were privatized again, in the law, they left this chapter in which it says that you have to allow artisanal miners to work in your package. So we decided it was an opportunity. We have them organized in co-ops. They pay taxes. We have a life and accident insurance especially devised for them. And and we've worked very well with them. We've been able to increase our production from 60 to 130 million thousand ounces of gold. I wish million, thousand ounces of gold per year, and the livelihood has improved, and the company has done very well. So we're quite unusual, but I think we're good at that. I think we're good at looking into an unusual situation and making the best out of it, which is not rare in mining companies.
Mm-hmm. And you say unusual, but it's really been consistent, because I'd just like you to share vis-a-vis the alluvial operations, how many years you've been mining with that method and how consistent your production has been.
Well, the mine is over 100 years old. It was owned by British people until something like 1930. Then it was the Pato Gold Dredging Company, and 50 years ago it was bought by Colombian investors. So the mine has been in operation for over 100 years, and we've been paying dividend for over 30 years non-stop. So we know how to manage a mine in a very complicated environment, because we are in a region in Colombia that has had a lot of like political violence and delinquency straight away. And we've been able to be successful because we do things by the book. We don't pay anything to anybody who is out of the law. We don't come to the phone, and we don't have any private like security or anything. We rely on the police, the army, the state to protect us, and we go by the book, and we don't relate or agree to anything with people that are outside of the law. Sometimes it gets tough, sometimes it gets funny, but it's never boring.
Good. And so I think that's a good summary, so maybe we'll move on to some other subjects. So you've been listed on the Colombian Stock Exchange for a long time. You can share how many years. And then, as you said, 3 years ago in 2021, you went public on the TSX. So maybe just discuss why that corporate decision was made and what you intended to do with that.
Thank you. Yes, we were the only gold mining company listed in the Colombian Stock Exchange. And the Colombian Stock Exchange is really dry. So the price formation is not good. So we were very, very undervalued. So we decided we wanted to be in a stock market with more mining companies and with more liquidity in order for us to achieve a better pricing. We looked at London, we looked at Australia, we looked at Wall Street, and we decided on the TSX, because we have plenty of mining companies here, and then we can entertain transactions with them, mergers, acquisitions, and so far I think it's worked. It takes time for us to be understood by investors, and we're patient. We're not in a hurry. We have cash. We're in a good position to wait. Our shareholders are used to being patient because they've been in Colombia for 40 years with us. The dividend helps you be patient, and it's been fun. It's been interesting. Before we listed Mineros in the Toronto Stock Exchange, we entertained 2 or 3 potential mergers, and it always came to the point where our counterpart said, "Well, we don't know if your price is right. We don't know how to agree on an exchange ratio." So we couldn't advance on the potential merger. So we decided to stop looking for opportunities, listed the company, and now we're looking for opportunities after a brief period in which we stopped to solve the issue of Gualcamayo.
Okay. Good. And so, again, long history, consistent history as you've painted. Your founding shareholder was the Copatria Group.
Yep.
And they remain in the story, a significant shareholder. But of course, for those that have been following, there's been a recent change in new large shareholder that has entered the registered, joined the board. So maybe we can discuss that.
Yeah, Sun Valley Investment, but right now it's 24.99% of Mineros. So we had a big change in our board. We have people with more experience in mining, and we are currently in the process of having our board members getting to know each other and trust each other, which is fun and interesting sometimes. But in general, the market has received the transaction in a very positive way. Our price has doubled in the past 3 months.
Still not fully valued.
No. I will never say we're fully valued. It's against my my principles. But I think it's a good signal. We're getting there. We are in a better position to entertain an acquisition or a merger, and it's an interesting time in the market because there is a window of opportunity, and that window is going to be closed. We don't know when, but we know it's going to be closed. So we're very active looking for opportunities right now.
Okay, very good. So we have about 3 minutes left. So maybe we can just expand on what in broad strokes is Mineros' growth strategy, organic or inorganic, and maybe give the audience, the high level why invest in Mineros.
Okay. So currently we are at 210 to 230. We want to reach at least 400, between 400 and 500. We have a project in Nicaragua that will provide us with 70,000 ounces, additional ounces, so we will be in 300. So we're looking at opportunities of about 100,000 ounces, maybe 1 or 2. If it's projects close to production, with investments in the region of $150 to $250 million, something we can finance and maybe ask the market for some more money and then get more liquidity. And that's about it. I think with 1 or 2 of those opportunities, we will be able to be diversified in geographies, which is, I believe, the only way to deal with the political risk right now. Of a considerable size, so the market would look at us with a different view, and we will be able to carry on doing this business that is never boring, always interesting, and if you are in the geographies like the geographies we are, even more interesting. What else can I tell you about Mineros? Well, not much. We plan on keeping our dividend policy as long as we don't find something relevant to invest in that will justify cutting on dividends. It's been fun, and we hope it keeps on being fun. We are focused on gold, silver, and associated minerals. We're not looking at other minerals right now.
Jurisdictions, maybe?
Yes, hopefully tier 1 jurisdiction. Yes, it will be good after having thrived in Colombia and Nicaragua. It won't hurt to have a tier 1 jurisdiction, so we're very much interested in several places in Canada, the US, not really Mexico. Peru is getting better, but not fast enough. Chile is getting better, but we already have a stake in La Pepa. So maybe North America, and if there is an operation somewhere else that is self-sufficient and we don't need to invest a lot of time like controlling it, maybe we will look at something in Australia or Europe. So we're pretty much looking all over and more concerned about the size, because we think that a project or an operation of around 100,000 ounces will be feasible for us without putting Mineros at risk. We think we should carry on being consistent and being very cautious on the way we deal with growth. We don't want to take too many risks in a business that is risky enough.
Excellent, excellent. So in summary, consistent high dividend payer, undervalued.
Yes.
Recent board and investor rejuvenation with Sun Valley.
Yep.
And on the lookout for M&A.
That's us.
Excellent. Thank you, Andres.
Thank you, Elian. Thank you.